Action's going to be on our chip leader. Mr. Vijayaram's here got King Deuce suited. Our chip leader qualified for this tournament for an $130 buy-in satellite.
Pick one fold.
He's going to turn that $130 into at least $200,000 today. Obviously in great position to make more than that. Nobody really getting two out of line so far. Blind versus blind pot here.
Bit of tunes. Speakers in the felt. Just enough so no one else can hear it. We can hear it. You can just all just dancing away. And they're all going, what the hell are we doing?
Pick 5 calls.
Blind versus blind here. Heath decides to just call with the 10-9 offsuit.
Around the table.
And now it's on Fedor here with his about 20 big blind stack and Queen 8 offsuit. How is he going to play it here?
6 check. Heads up. Burning 2 pots.
Heath flops top pair. Fedor with an open-ended straight draw. About a 2-1 underdog here.
Pick 5 bets, 50,000.
Heath gonna come out with a bet, and Fedor certainly going nowhere, given the size of the pot and the price he's getting.
Six call.
And Fedor is gonna call here.
A bit.
Once again, 3 of a kind for one of our players in the blind versus blind pot. This time Heath's turn to make trips. And now Fedor can't make a 10 to make the best hand because that would give a full house to Heath. So he's got to find a 5 and a 5 only. A queen would be trouble. A 10 would be trouble. Action is on Fedor, debating his options here. He's got to be careful with how he invests his chips given the fragility of his stack. But he's decided to take a shot here. Now the question is, will Heath just call? Looks like he's already decided to just call here.
5 calls.
Slow playing his hand, and now a 10 would be disastrous for Fedor. Jack of diamonds. Interesting river card. Neither player will be thrilled about that. Heath is pretty likely going to check here.
5 check.
And now Fedor knows he can't win if he checks. He cannot. He can only win with the bluff. And now he's going to ask himself, what kind of hands can Heath play this way that will now fold on the river? Maybe some 7s, 7-8, 7-5, Ace-7, 6-8, 6-5.
Not gonna fold.
6 check.
Fedor wisely decides to give up here. And Fedor goes, nice play. A little tricky play with those trips there.
He's not gonna fold. I know.
Fedor is going to be first to act under the gun.
You just can't get rid of it.
Yeah, I hate you right now.
Thanks for bringing us.
I was free for the first few minutes.
You're welcome.
Whereas once you hear it, you have to tell everyone else.
50,000 call.
Out on the field.
Fedor with 2 5s first to act. Very interesting decision, actually. He has 17 big blinds, 7-handed table. He is either the shortest stack or the second shortest stack, but very close. How does he play his 5s here? Looks like he's going to opt for a small raise.
115,000.
And he's ran into a bigger pair here. Our chip leader, repping the old school run-it-up patch. How is he going to play 2 8s in this spot against the first position raise from one of the best in the world? Vijayaram considering calling or raising, you would assume. Gyroms does
Big
decide to
seven
raise here.
265,000.
Pretty hefty
Big
raise
one
too.
fold, 6 2
Oh,
fold.
no, 265. Thought I said
Big
365.
3 fold. Big 4 fold.
And now I think
Big
if Fedor is going to make a small raise here with 2 5s, you got to think he's doing this so he can get away if re-raised. And Fedor considering his options here, but he's got to lay this down. And indeed he does. So Fedor down to 15 big blinds. Nice pot there for our chip leader. Taking it down with 2 8s. So Fedor definitely our short stack now with 15 big blinds. All these players are in the money. We got in the money, I believe, with 80 players. 725 began this contest. They all paid $10,000 to enter.
50,000.
And we are down to our final 7. Another pretty good hand here for our chip leader. Blinds have not changed. That is what he's looking at. Also, if the blinds won't change mid, like there's a break after every level, so.
Big 3 fold.
The Gyrom raising with the ace queen, of course, over to the blinds.
Big 5 folds.
Maybe this time.
Big 6 call. Heads up.
It was so hot when I first got here. I was sweating like crazy, man.
That's crazy.
Feeling better now, though.
Pretty good flop here. Fedor defends his big blind for the min raise with 10-4 suited. Doesn't flop very much. The Gyrom's got to like that flop.
Big 7 check.
Ooh, a little tricky check back here. Fedor is 2 cards away from making the best hand. And that is not the card he needed.
Yeah. It was on
Nice little trap here.
TV. No, it was over there.
But Fedor wise not to take a shot on this turn card.
That's big. You'll laugh.
Big 7 bet 105,000.
Small bet.
You guys didn't have this the other day, though.
And that's going to be the end of this. The end of this pot.
750
815,000.
total.
Yeah.
Change my mind. Yeah, one more rank. Yeah.
Action on Ben Heath here. Blind versus blind against the short stack. Fedor Holz.
I'll give you a clean 2 million. Clean 2 million.
C5 call.
And Heath gonna just
Option C6.
call. Now last time he did this, Fedor shoved 10 deuce in the big blind. What will Fedor do with 10-9 here?
C6
This
call.
time he just goes ahead and checks it. Can't do that play all the time.
2 players.
And nice flop for Fedor here. He flops an up and down straight draw. Nothing much for Heath to be happy about.
C5 bet 60,000.
Heath decides to bet here. And now Fedor's got to decide, does he want to just call? Go ahead and raise? With position facing a min bet, Fedor's got about 12.5 blinds. What's he going to do here?
C6 call.
Fedor does just flat call.
2 players.
Jack 4 does lead. No change on the turn.
C5 check. C6 check.
Both players check. Reverse is the 7 of hearts.
Check on the turn. Jack high technically is the best hand here. Action on Heath. Now,
Big
he has the
blind
best
check.
hand, but he probably thinks he doesn't. He checks it. Now, Fedor has 7s with a king, queen, 10 kicker. Looks like Fedor is going to go ahead and fire here, and this is going to be a pretty tough spot for Ben to do much. Ooh, that's a big bet on the
Big
river.
bet.
Over pot.
300.
And a quick fold from
five
Heath.
fold.
Nice move there from one of the best in our game today. Holz takes down that pot. Rossiter with an ace here. Not a fantastic ace.
Suit 1 raise, 180.
Houston without much of a hand here. He's going to get out of the way.
2 fold, suit 3 fold.
And what will Fedor do in the big blind with an ace? I suspect we'll see him call, but ace-6 offsuit is a pretty terrible ace. He has to call 100 to win 350,000, so Fedor's getting a great price to call, 3.5 to 1. And he is going to call here for 100,000 more. This is a critical pot for Fedor. If he loses this pot, he'll be under 10 big blinds, just about 9 big blinds. Off to the flop we go. Ooh, great flop for Rossiter. Doesn't get much better than that when you raise with ace-7 offsuit. Top pair, nut flush draw. So Rossiter going to start here with a bet.
140.
And now this is kind of a tough spot for Fedor. Like, he's got to... I mean, he's got to think he might have the best hand here with a 6. But you can't be thrilled about it. 3 spades on the board. The problem is his options are kind of limited because his stack size is so short. He doesn't really want to check call and put a blind and a half in. He only has 9 of them. So does he really want to invest such a big portion of his stack with just a 6 and no spade?
All in.
Oh no, Fedor moves all in. Snap call by Rossiter. And Fedor's going to need a 4 and a 5, a 6. Fedor's in a lot of trouble here. He's going to need your energy, guys. We're going to lose the most accomplished player.
That's a tough one.
Perhaps in the tournament, never mind at this final table, in 5th place.
Basically a flip, isn't it?
It looked.
Fedor
it
is
looked like
8%
two spades. I was
behind
already
here.
kind of sad, so
Ace of hearts, 6 of
at least I have a little bit of a sweat.
He has a chance. He's not dead. He's got to catch a red 6 to make the best hand. A 4 or a 5 would give him some opportunities. One of the most successful players in the game today is all in for his tournament life. King of Hearts changes nothing. Fedor needs a red 6, and he needs it right now, right this second. That is not going to do it. We are going to lose Fedor Holz in 5th place here. One of the greatest of all time. Had a legendary year last year. He's going to go home today with 335,000. Not bad. He did start out today as our short stack.